felt just want to show first of all. So early, I think this is the second series. I think we were 3 and out to start with. Maybe this is the first series. But the big thing here is, talking about Amon and then talking about the guys we have the offensive line. Really good, at least initially, getting push and moving, displacing bodies. You see here, just Amon's got 5 yards before he gets touched, and he's always able to fall forward. When you watch the tape, one thing you want to see about Amon versus other guys, Amon always falls forward. And so why is that a big deal? Every time he falls forward, that's 1.5 yards, 2 yards of extra yards per carry. They had a good offensive line on this team with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll show 1 or 2 clips of them. This one's actually just a shout out to my man Niall Diggs, number 59 in the middle here. We had Nick Barnett was with him, partner in crime for this game. Came around, just made a great play. The offensive line had Trey Thomas, John Welburn, obviously John Runyon Jr.'s father, John Runyon on the other side. Had Hank Fraley at center. Hank's a great offensive line coach now. It was a phenomenal team, man. God, Donovan McNabb, you forget how. Donovan McNabb was, in this game in particular, I think he must have run for 100 yards in scrambles. I mean, just an unbelievable talent. Certainly had pocket awareness, and they create some really good space, despite having Aaron Cameron, Baja, Biamila, and all those guys on the defensive line rushing. Now, I want you to show you what a bad athlete looks like at the left guard position here. Just what a pathetic – what an absolutely pathetic job. Everybody does. This is the worst feeling in the world if you're an offensive lineman. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. Chad gets his block. Tight end comes off. Will Henderson gets his block. I helped Mike initially, but just fall down like a terrible athlete. 53, middle linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles, just runs right by me. Ends up getting in on this play. It's tough sledding out there, boys. I wanted to show Chad here just from a bend standpoint. I mean, you're talking about a guy who had incredible bend and quickness and explosion off the ball. One thing that's interesting watching this now versus what I've been doing the last couple of years and working with athletes and really trying to break down how to maybe the best practice movement patterns and techniques for playing offensive line. You'll even see in this, Chad opens up on this play really quickly. Obviously, we're in Philly here, but he opens up within 2 kicks. He opens up a great punch and extend everything, but when you get to this position, you're a little bit tall. It's easy to rip underneath. Get that from 94's perspective. Get that shoulder pad into the chest and try to rip around and through. Chad is just such an incredible bend in these situations. If you kick back one more set square, this isn't even an issue. You don't get into that situation right there. Obviously, Brett got rid of the ball here. It wasn't a big deal, but it's always interesting. You see you see guys today, and everybody always talks about generations and how the athletes are getting bigger, faster, stronger. There's not a lot of guys that look like Chad, that can move like Chad, that have that kind of bend at his size. I think he was rolling around 320, 325 pounds.